Hello, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon. So, hope you're all doing fine and you guys are staying safe. We are all excited to have you here and thank you for joining. So, today's webinar is going to be about XPay tokens. So, we are going to look at what an XPay token is and we are going to see how to use this XPay token and make API calls. So the topics that we will cover today are we'll be looking at an API request structure. We will be seeing what a one-way SSL is. We'll be going through HTTP signature. Then we'll be seeing looking into XPay tokens. And then we'll have a live demo where we will show you how to compute an XPay token and make API calls using Postman. Then finally, we'll wrap it up with a Q&A session. So for those who know about Visa Developer Portal, we currently have multiple products hosted on Visa Developer Platform. So currently the count is close to 90. So we have 90 odd products hosted on VDP. So now each of these products have multiple API bundles and all these APIs have multiple endpoints. So endpoints are basically the API requests. Now, let's see how a typical API request looks like. So as you can see in the slide, the API request is basically made up of the following parameters. So we have the endpoint. So the endpoint is your actual resource URL. And if you see the example we have given you, it's https sandbox.apivisa.com/vdp/hello world. So this is typically your endpoint. So here sandbox.api.visa.com is your host. Now host can vary depending on the environment where you're trying to make your API call. And we can also have query params. So query params are basically start with a question mark and those are key value pairs. So here in the example, question mark API key equal to a value is the query param that we are using here. Your request method is basically the type of request. So it can be anything like get, post, put, patch, or delete. Your request header they are basically used to provide information to the client and server. So mostly they are used for authentication. They can also be used for providing any information about the content. So for instance, if you look at the examples we have given, we have content type as application/JSON. So it basically indicates that the content which is used in this API call is of type JSON. And accept application/JSON means your API will accept JSON requests. And finally, we have the request body, which is nothing but your payload. So it's basically just the information that the client will want to send to the server and put. So your request payload can be of any type, but mostly on VDP, we use JSONs or XMLs, which are listed as examples here. Now, on VDP, we use two kinds of authentication methods. So one is two-way SSL, and the second kind is XPay. So before we dive into what XPay is, I just wanted to go back to the basics and talk a bit about SSL. So what is an SSL? So SSL is basically a secure protocol which is used for sending secure information over the internet. Like you go into an online shopping portal and you enter credit card numbers and you enter passwords on websites. So these are all secure information. So SSL is a protocol mainly used for securing this information. Now SSL can be implemented in two ways. So one is one-way SSL, the other one is two-way SSL. So XPay token is of type one-way SSL and mutual auth is of type two-way SSL, which is why we are going to look at what one-way SSL is in the next slide. So what is a one-way SSL? So one-way SSL is typically when the client verifies, only the client verifies the authenticity of the server. Whereas in case of a two-way SSL, both the client and the server will have to verify each other. So because XPay is of one-way SSL, let's dive more into one-way SSL. So let's go through the steps typically involved in one-way SSL. So step one. So the client requests access to the server to access its resource. So now the server, when it receives the request from the client, it returns its public certificate and the public key. Now the client, after receiving the certificate, will want to verify the server certificate. So how does it verify it? So basically it verifies the certificate with the certification authority. So basically it look at factors like whether the certificate is not expired, it's unrevoked, and the common name and all such details. Now, after the verification is done, if the validation is successful, now the client will send back the session key using the server's public key that the server sent in step 2. Now the server will decrypt the session key using its private key and it will start the session. Now the session has started, it's successful. Now client and server can communicate further to exchange any sort of information. Now this is all one-way SSL is about.
So HTTP signature. So guys, HTTP signature is a form of digital signature. Digital signature is basically where you use your private key to encode the data, and someone with your public key can decode that encoded data to arrive at the actual data. Now this provides two particular things. One is it verifies that it was actually sent by you. The second thing that it provides is that the message was intact. It wasn't tampered with. Now, in case of HTTP signatures, we have a structured string that you encode. You can encode using a private key or a public key. Now, this structured string must include the HTTP request and any other form of predefined data that you have agreed upon. Now, this encoded string is generally referred to as the signature, and this signature must be included as a HTTP header. Again, it provides the same two things: the authenticity that was actually sent by you, and message integrity, that it hasn't been tampered with. Now, XPay token is a form of HTTP signature, and to be able to use an API which uses XPay token authentication, you need two particular things. One is the API key, and the second is shared secret. You can obtain both of these things on the VDP platform when you create a project which uses this form of authentication. Now let's look at what a request with this form of authentication will look like. Here we have a Hello World example where the API key has been included as a query parameter, and the XPay token, which we will compute in the next slide, will be added as a HTTP header. That will be your signature. So let's look at how the HTTP header XPay token is calculated. So remember from our earlier discussion of HTTP signature that the structured string is required and we encode that particular part. So here the structured string is the message, which is composed of the timestamp, the resource path, the query string, and the request body. Now, there are a few things that you need to take note of. One is that the query string, which consists of your query parameters, must be in alphabetical order. Then the second thing is about resource path, which actually differs from product to product. And we will tell you a little bit more detail in the next slide. Now let's look at the actual XPay token string. So the actual XPay token string is composed of XV2 string plus the timestamp, colon, then the SHA-MAC encoded message. You encode this message using your shared secret. Now let's move on to the next slide.
Now, as you saw on the previous slide, where Abhishek mentioned on how to compute the XPay token, you saw that we do use the resource path to compute the XPay token. Now, how do we, I know resource path is a straightforward URL, but we do have some differences between different products. So that is what this slide is all about. So let me, if you see, we have listed various products here. Let me take a couple of examples. Like, let's go with CyberSource. So that's the first item on the list. So as the request URL, basically we have one endpoint mentioned here. So which is https://sandbox.api.visa.com/cybersource/payments/v1/authorize. So now this is the actual request URL. Now here, excluding the host, the actual resource path is cybersource/payment/v1/authorizations. Whereas we do not use the complete path. Why is because in VDP, we can configure for different products in such a way that we can skip part of the URL while actually computing XPay token. So for CyberSource, if you see, we are skipping CyberSource there. So when you actually calculate the XPay token, only payment/v1/authorization will be used. So you'll understand it better when I show you a demo. And for instance, this is not the same case for all products. Like for instance, if you look at Visa token service, which is the third item here, you can see the endpoint is https://api.visa.com/vts/provision tokens. In this case, the resource path is /vts/provision tokens, but we are not skipping any part of the resource path here, which is why we end up using the entire resource path, which is VTS/provision tokens. So various products have different ways of configuring resource path. So this is available on the VDP portal. So based on the information there, you can check on how to use your resource path for the XPay calculation. Now, let me show you a demo. So basically, I have a Postman demo to show you. So I'll share my screen. So Abhishek, are you able to see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So VDP, so this is the VDP portal. So many of you might have seen it before. So you might have used developer.visa.com. So developer is our live site. So I'm just gonna show you how an app looks like in VDP and how you get the credentials for XPay apps. So I'm just gonna log into our QA portal and show you how it looks like. So let me log in. So for logging into the portal, you will typically need an account. So you can use the register here option to register using your email ID. So as soon as you log in, you will see a dashboard. So dashboard is where you can see all the apps or projects that you create on VDP. So I have some existing apps here. So let me create VDP has like basically products using both mutual auth and XPay token. So 90% of the products, they use mutual auth as the authentication method, whereas we have only a handful of products which use XPay token. So I'm just gonna create an app using one of the XPay products. So most of the XPay products, they are either hidden or restricted, which means you need to have access before you create an app for that particular product. So in my case, I do have an access, so which is why I'm gonna create it. So the project name can be any name which you would like to have. And let me select an XPay product. Okay. So Visa Digital Credential Services here is one of the XPay products hosted on VDP. So I'm just selecting that product and I'm gonna click on create project now. Okay. So as soon as your app is successfully created, you will land on the summary page. So summary page is basically your app details page where you have details of your app. So here you can see that this is the product name that we selected. So these are all the API bundles that currently are onboarded under this particular product. Now this green indicator tells you that the app has been created successfully and your APIs are active. We are ready to test the APIs basically. So here you can see that it mentions the authentication method of each API. So which we can see this is an XPay token. And one more tab that I wanted to show you is the credentials tab. Now, when you click on credentials, you can see the API key and shared secret, which Abhishek was talking about. So typically this API key and shared secret is like your username and password. So imagine that API key is your username and shared secret is your password. Now, XPay token just needs these two credentials for making calls. You do not need certificates like in case of mutual auth apps. So we also have an option of deactivating this API key and shared secret if you wish to. And this create new inbound keys option will basically help you to create a new set of API key and shared secret if at all you decide to deactivate this. So just to save some time, we already have a project set up to show you on Postman. Okay, so this is how it looks. So before that, let me show you API reference too. Okay. So this on the summary page against each API, you can see API reference link. Let me show you how an API reference link page looks like. Now, when you click on API reference, it basically lands you on a page which has information about that API. So typically it lists out all the endpoints which are under the particular API. So if you see the center section basically tells you what are the headers, what are the params, what are the request and response attributes used for each and every endpoint. And this window on the right side, you see this is called the Code Explorer window. Here you have the VDP URL. So this VDP URL is the URL that you use to actually make this API call. And you can see that here we have mentioned that API key has to be the query param. And these are the headers. So headers would be content type, accepts, and XPay token. And for each of the APIs, you will have a sample request and response given here. So you can use this request to make your API calls. So now let me go back to Postman. So this is the Postman collection I have set up. So here, this is a post call. So this is my resource URI. So I'm basically testing it in cert environment. So you can see that my URI is cert.api.visa.com. My resource path is Visa Direct /v1/wallet payments. So this is this particular endpoint belongs to the product Visa Direct services. And like Abhishek mentioned, you can see that I have mentioned API key here. Now this value is the one which you basically get from the credentials tab I just showed you a minute back. Okay, so now let's go to the headers. Now in headers, we have XPay token. So right now I've just given this value, so it means it will be computed. So content type is application/JSON, accept is application/JSON. Now the body type has the payload. We have a JSON payload here. Now moving on to the main part. So here is the prereq script. So in Postman, a prereq script tab, it's typically a script which gets executed before the actual API call. So when you actually click on send and try to make the API call, this script will get executed and only after that will the API call be actually made. So why we have this script is because obviously XPay token has to be generated dynamically. So we have we actually use this script to generate the XPay token. And as a result, whatever XPay token is generated will get set in the header value here, and that is what will be passed during the API call. Now let's go to the prereq script. Okay, so if you've actually seen the Visa Developer Platform, we do have multiple pages and where we explain what are XPay token and what is mutual auth and everything. So in the XPay token page, we have sample code in different languages where we tell you how to use that code to actually compute XPay token. Now this sample code, I think it's available in JavaScript, in Node.js, in Python, Ruby, etc. So basically I've used the Node.js script, but of course I've elaborated a bit more so that we can go step by step and you will be able to better understand what's happening. So let me start. Let's go into the script. So now shared secret is the shared secret that we can obtain from the credentials page. So all you have to do is just feed in the shared secret here. Timestamp is your Unix timestamp, which is basically your current timestamp. Now resource path. So for this particular product, we are skipping Visa Direct. So which is why you see the resource path only contains V1/wallet payments. It does not have Visa Direct. Again, this information is available for each and every product on the portal. Now, query params. Query params is basically your query parameters. So in our case, of course, because it's XPay, we have API key, which is the mandatory query param, but we do not have any additional query parameters. So which is why we just have API key equal to the API key value. Now, if you want to add additional query params, you can add one more by adding an ampersand and additional query params which your endpoint requires. Post body. Now this is just the request body. So PM is postman. So this is a command which is used to get the request from the body tab. So basically whatever is in the body tab is what is being fetched here. Now let's get into the calculation part. So if you remember in the slide where Abhishek showed you the formula, so you can see that the message is a combination of timestamp, resource path, query string, and the request body. Now we have all those declared here, so that's what we are basically basically creating a message here using a combination of all these parameters. Now once the message string is created, we use the message string and the shared secret and we use the HMAC authentication code to basically develop a hash string. So that is what is done in the next step. So once we have the hash string in place, now we are ready to compute the XPay token. So XPay token is nothing but a combination of the string XV2 along with the timestamp, which is again the current timestamp, colon, and the hash string. So finally, when you concatenate all this, you have the XPay token in hand. So what we are doing is in the postman, we are just setting the XPay value that we computed in the XPay header value, which is what we have defined here. So now that we have the script and everything in place, let me make the API call. Okay, so now the XPay token was generated, and since it's a valid XPay token, it's done all the authentication, and the call went to product. So now product returned the successful response, which is what you see in the response body here. Now Abhishek has one more demo for you using Python. Off to you, Abhishek.
All right. Can you stop sharing?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you. All right, before I begin the demo of the Python script that I'm going to show you guys, let me show you a few resources that you can use. So I'm on the Visa Developer Platform website, and now I will go into the top menu here where it says APIs. I drop it down and I go to this section right here, working with Visa APIs. Now, when you go here, it opens up a bunch of resources for you guys. These are really useful resources. You can use this information to register on the website, learn how to create a project on the website, and a bunch of different issues that you might face. So let's look at the documentation that we have on this page for XPay token authentication. So when you arrive at this page, it will have this video on top, which will basically contain steps on how to use SOAP UI to test your API using XPay token. Further down, you will see the exact steps involved in generating an XPay token. And then you have a section here which tells you which product require different resource paths parameters. Further down, all the way down, you actually have different code snippets for different languages. We have here one for Java, Then for Python, Node.js, Ruby, C Sharp, and PHP. So what I've tried to do here, so that it's as simple as it can be for you to replicate, I've copy pasted the exact same code here into my Python script. This section right here is the exact same as that you find on the VDP portal. Now I'm going to invoke this method to generate my XP token. Like I said before, to do this, you need two particular things: the shared secret and then the API key. Now, shared secret will be used to encode the message string that we have, and the API key will be included as a query parameter in the header. Oh, sorry, in the request, right here. Now I have called the XPay token method with the shared secret, resource path, the query string, and the body. This will generate the XPay token for me, and then I will include that XPay token in the header. And then here I make the final request. Guys, this example here is just a GET request example, but you can include your request body here if you have a POST method or any other method which requires a body. So let me just call this script and show it in action. It's making a request to sandbox.api.visa.com VDP hello world with the API key using XPay token authentication. Here is our particular generated XPay token. This is what it actually looks like: XV2, the timestamp, and followed by the encoded hash of the string, structured string that we have. And then we receive a response from the server, which is 200 OK. I've printed it out right here. All right, that is it for our demo. Now, before we move on to Q&A, guys, I have a quick word in. So, guys, as developers, we all know we need to contribute to developer communities. I know I owe half my paycheck to Stack Overflow and other developer communities. So please go on to Visa developer community after this webinar today and go and share your knowledge that you have gained today. We will send you a Visa developer bottle for your reward. Thank you. Let's move on to Q&A. Looks like we don't have anything in the inbox. Guys, you can use the Q&A widget that you guys have and post questions there. We'll give you guys a few minutes to get your questions ready. All right. Looks like. All right, looks like we have a couple of questions. So the first question is the XPay token required for all services? No, so there are two different forms of authentication on the VDP platform. One is mutual auth and one is XPay token. Today we were covering XPay token. I think we have covered mutual auth before, and you might find links to that particular webinar on the VDP portal.
So we have another question asking whether if there's any repository where we can examine the code. So Abhishek shared the XPay token page on the VDP portal. We'll be sharing the links for the same. So you have all the sample code there. So you can use the sample code to actually generate XPay tokens.
All right. We have another question here from Emmanuel. Is the XPay token header name case sensitive? Saranya, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it's case sensitive, right?
No,
It
it's
can
not.
be in any case. Yeah, it's not case
No.
sensitive, guys. Okay.
So any reason behind not many products using XPay token compared to mutual auth? So mutual auth is obviously two-way SSL, right? So it has better security because the client and the server communicate with each other. So mutual auth is obviously a better authentication method, which is why many products go for it. But XPay is because when VDP started initially, there were some products which was onboarded using XPay. So we are trying to, I think the products are still trying to keep it in XPay. So maybe in future they might want to switch to mutual auth. So it's basically a product's decision on what authentication method they need to use.
Yeah, and what Saranya is referring to products here are the different APIs that we have on VDP platform. Another advantage of using XPay token for these particular products is that the authentication here is quicker. So mutual auth takes a little longer, slightly longer, but it's a little quicker. XPay token.
Okay. So we have Alan again asking the same question. Is there any repository? So yes, we will share the links with you. So where you have the sample code in different languages, so you should be able to use the same.
I think you answered Jude's question, right? Is there any benefit of using XPay token? Yeah, we've answered this before.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Saulo here saying thanks, congratulations for the presentation. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Saulo.
Guys, definitely go on to the Visa Developer Platform community and go share your thoughts there. Any other questions, guys?
So we have a question from Javier. I'm having problems with the decryption of elements of body as encrypted data. Are there some video examples on your website? Yes, we do have a video example where we do use SOAP UI for XPay testing. So you can also we'll share the link. You could also go through it. And we will also be sharing this, whatever we showed, the demo we showed you, we will also be uploading the same on our website so that you can have a look at it.
And Javier, you can also reach out to the Visa developer community if they might have faced a similar problem. You can have a better description of your problem there and someone might help you there.
And Jude says, thank you for the presentation. Thank you for joining us, Jude.
Yeah, thank you. I'll show you guys where to find the XPay documentation once again. So you're on your Visa developer platform. You have APIs on the top here. Go to working with Visa APIs. I go to working with Visa APIs. Here you will find all sorts of documentation. Here in authentication, there's two-way SSL, the other form of authentication that we were talking about, and XPay token right here. And in XPay token, here you have that video example that Saranya was mentioning. and other steps that are involved. And on the bottom, you have code examples that you guys wanted. Any other questions, guys? Before we conclude our presentation for the day. Okay, I think it's safe to assume we don't have any more questions. I thank you for attending the webinar, guys. It was a pleasure to have you. You will find the resources for this particular webinar in a mail soon.
Thank you all for joining the call. So we'll be sending you a recording link in case you would like to go over it again. Also, like Abhishek mentioned, we'll share all the resource links so that you can go over it. Please reach out to us in case of any questions. It was a pleasure having you, and thank you so much for joining.